Absolutely, absolutely.
How long can you reuse it for?
Until it becomes humus. And then you generally can't get enough of it together to... No, once I spread it out on the lawn, I don't worry about it anymore. Yes, sir.
Would you recommend going to the convention coming up first week of January or second week of January in Killeen?
Oh, that's February.
Oh, yeah,
The
first
Te-
February,
the
yeah.
Texas Organic Farmers and Growers Association has a convention in Killeen, Texas in February. Excellent speakers, always. I've been to, I think, every one except the very first one. Always great speakers, tons of information. Sometimes it's way up here over most people's heads. You get some people who are talking very scientific information, and sometimes it's like down in the basement for the people that are just beginners. So you've got to kind of choose and pick as to which ones you go to. And there are also topics that 5 or 6 topics that are going on at one time. Maybe as little as 4 going on at one time. But there's always a difficult decision to make. Do I go and listen to this one, or do I go and listen to this one, or do I go and listen to that one? And then maybe the next round of speakers, it's like, okay, they're all boring to me except this one over here. So, but I've been to this for a long time, and I've heard a lot. So I've got my opinions, and I know who the better speakers are, and I listen to them. And some of the other folks I don't particularly pay a lot of attention to. Other questions?
Are shallots difficult to grow?
No, those are probably the easiest of the onion family. Just stick them in the ground and leave them alone. And they multiply and grow and multiply.
So just get one plant and let it do its thing.
Oh, I would get dozens of plants. There's no reason not to.
I love it.
Yeah, they're real easy. And the thing is, you want to have one group that you're picking out of and cleaning it up, and then you save the new ones and you start at one, and then you get to your next group and you eat off of those until you replant. You continue to replant all the time. Yes, sir.
On your barrel system, do you use, I guess during the winter, do you do anything different? Do you move them or you just leave them as is?
I leave them as is, pull out all of my summer crops, refresh them with a little bit of organic fertilizer and maybe some more compost, and then I replant. In fact, I've got stuff that I haven't planted yet, lettuce and collard greens and those sort of things. I haven't put them in my barrels. They're sitting in little 4-inch pots on my back porch. Been rather slow about that, but yeah, I just typically pull it out, put in new stock, and then keep right on going. Or sprinkle seed on, let the seed come up. But it's very simple. Usually, though, after the winter crop, I dump the barrels and start over fresh in the spring.
Dump the soil like a drain?
Yes. Yeah, it's excellent garden fertilizer. Or yard fertilizer or whatever. I'm typically using it on shrubs and trees and not on the grass per se.
Are your barrels just sitting out there in direct sunlight all the time?
Yes. They're 20-gallon barrels. They're blue. They come from feed stock that cattle lick basically molasses out of. They've got some cottonseed meal. Yeah, you go to Tractor Supply or New Braunfels Feed right next door.
Yeah.
New Braunfels Feed has green ones and Tractor Supply has blue ones. So pick your color. So, and you can get any farmer that's feeding cattle, horses. They'll typically have some.
How often do you water in the summer?
How often do I water in the summer? Really great question. This year, you'd be surprised. Water once a week. That's it.
And nobody got fried.
The ones that didn't have holes in the bottom got fried.
That's
The
what I
ones that had holes in the bottom, once that root penetrates through the bottom of that container, everything that's in that container is, wonderful if it gets moisture. If it doesn't get moisture, it's still drawing from the ground below that container. So it works. It works really well. Yes.
Any fruits that you grow in the barrels, or?
I've grown pecans, not very well. I've grown pears. They do better in the barrels, but you only grow those for a couple of years. Basically, any tree that you're growing in a barrel needs to come out of that barrel and be put in the ground. Now, if you really want to grow blueberries, let's say, you can't grow blueberries in the soil here. You have to grow them in containers. And so the thing to do is go ahead and plant your blueberry in the container. And then you're going to put a bunch of green sand on top of that. And you're going to keep the soil acid by using only rainwater and continuing to add a little iron sulfate or magnesium sulfate to the soil at every watering. And you will grow blueberries. Now, when you're finished with it, when the blueberries are finished that year, basically don't do anything else to the plant. Just leave it alone. You look at me like you're puzzled. Why? You know, if it's growing through the bottom, it's going to take care of itself. And the best thing to do is leave it alone. You don't want to get a whole lot of new growth on it, because during the wintertime, you're going to yank that out and put in fresh soil, put that plant right back in and do the same thing over again, because every year you're going to have to renew the soil. But yeah, you can do blueberries. I've done it before.
Now you got all this acid soil you got to get rid of.
Oh, well, acid soil is just exactly what the grass needs. Spread it over your grass.
So the grass isn't there. Give it organic, give it acid, just throw it out.
Yeah, just throw it out there. Grass will take just about any organic
Comes from the
fertilizer.
weed family, probably.
But yeah, I've done blueberries, and you get wonderful, wonderful results when you do it in the barrel. When you do it in the ground, it's just heartache after heartache. They die, everything. I mean, a dog comes along and urinates on it, it's dead. There's so many things wrong with blueberries in our soil. You're constantly fighting the alkaline situation. And much easier to do it in barrels. Much easier. Yes, sir.
Aren't they having trouble growing apples up there in Medina, Texas?
They haven't used the sea salt yet. If they'd used sea salt, they could grow apples without cotton root rot problems. But they don't listen to me.
Would it be better to have them in containers too?
Pardon?
Would it be better to have them in containers too?
No. It would be better to have them in the ground using the sea salt.
Getting a lot of sea salt from
Well,
apple orchard.
no, not that much. Not that much. You're talking about 2 1/4 pounds per 100 square feet. That's not much.
Well, some of those orchards are huge.
I know.
100 square feet is only 10 foot by 10 foot.
That's
like
right.
one tree.
That's right.
Well,
Well, you're not fertilizing the area in between the trees. You're only fertilizing the area where the root system is of that tree.
so 100 trees, you'd have to have
How many you got?
2.5. No, we're talking. I'm talking about orchards. We're talking about the orchards. These guys are doing for a living.
Yeah, it's still minor. It's still very minor.
Be worth the investment.
Because you're going to get return after return after return, because you get the apples to the market sooner than the Washington people do. If you're doing them organically, you're getting double or triple the price that anybody else is getting. When you're ahead, when you're the first one to the market and you're getting double the price, how can you lose? If I had hill country, I'd be growing apples. You bet I would. It's simple. It's really simple.
Have these guys been told that they could use sea salt?
I have advised them, and they look at me like I'm crazy. You know, when they don't pay for the information, they don't listen to the information. If I could get somebody to pay me, they'd do it, and then they make money. But, I mean, I'm a consultant. And I'm giving them free information. They just don't listen.
You think one would at least test drive a little spot?
You would think. You would think. Okay. I'm going to shift gears.